Listen, you already know the vibes, man. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you. Go Talk the podcast. What episode is this, Mike? It's like 10 or 9.
It's 10.
It's 10,
Y'all
lucky
can
number 10.
throw.
So you know what we do for lucky number 10. We bring in some guests, man. Listen, man, I got the coach with us tonight. Gate City Sports. You already know the guy. And I got Philly Notion. It's actually my first time working with Notion. I've been trying to line it up for a long time, but we about to talk about this Philadelphia Eagles team, this defense, everything. We're gonna cover all bases. The conversation before we hit play was it was good. So we got to get into it right now. But before we get into it, I gotta let you know, man. Shout out to Big Manscaped. You know what I mean? Use code Brunson, save 20% off, get the free shipping, and the free shipping I for that for y'all. Make sure the holiday season is coming up. Listen, before she come play on the field, make sure the grass is trimmed. The vibes, man. Let's talk about it, man. Listen, in no particular order. I'm just gonna be quiet. I just want to hear what y'all got to say. What is going on with Jonathan Gannon? What's going on with him?
Hey, I'm seeing a lot of incompetent football, honestly. Like we was talking, listen, a lot of this stuff is common sense football. Like we're not even applying pressure. These quarterbacks is out here playing pitch and catch. Our cornerbacks don't even stand a chance being about 8 to 10 yards off the line. So a lot of this stuff, again, this is common sense stuff. When we getting roasted up like that by some of these quarterbacks, I guess you can call them great or whatever once they play against us. But at the same time, none of these quarterbacks should be having 80%, 90% completion percentages. No, I'm looking at the adjustment. I'm looking at this coach as being incompetent, not knowing how to change things that are broke. So off the top, listen, I don't know what's going on, but I need some confidence, gang. Y'all gonna have to lift me up because, again, I didn't believe in this defense coming in. I'm not gonna cap to y'all. I believe that we was gonna be led by our offensive group, and this defense was gonna have to show me. But after 9 weeks of football, nah, this ain't it, my guys. So, hey, somebody let me know. I think it's a incompetent head coach is what we rocking with right now.
The way I look at it, Notion is that you go to the 3rd and 7 play, which is the one we were talking about backstage. We got Herbert backed up against the goal line. I think it's their first possession of the game. And Gannon did everything right except for one thing. Like, for all the talk about, he doesn't do pre- and post-snap disguise. Actually, he does. He goes with a pre- and post-snap disguise. He's got disguise on the play. He's got Slay up on the corner, right? He's got the linebackers peeking in, giving Herbert that look like we're about to bring pressure on a 3rd and 7 on him. And then Herbert just simply looks over to his right, to the field side, sees Guyton, looks at my guy. I don't know what he was doing. He simply looks at our coverage. And we got Steven Nelson 8 yards off of Guyton on a 3rd and 7. Guyton releases off the line of scrimmage because there's no one there to basically give him a jam. There's no one there to disrupt the route at all. He sells that he's going to go vertical. He sinks his hips. He sits down, and there's a 2-yard separation 3 yards past the sticks. It's an easy pitch and catch. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and say that's completely Gannon because I don't know if that was Gannon and that's what he taught him to do, or if that was Steven Nelson not knowing the situation. And like, why are you playing 8 yards off? Why are you 8 yards off? Because everything that Gannon did on that play made a ton of sense. He looked at Baltimore, and then he looked at New England. He knew what they did is they sold pressure, and then post-snap they fell out in the zones, and they were picking off Herbert doing that. He did the same exact concept, except for he's got either he had him or Nelson chose to be 8 yards off of the receiver on a 3rd and 7. It just – it was so obvious to watch the quarterback. The quarterback looked right at the play, looked right at it, and said, I got this. I know that's where I'm going.
Let me just say this, and this is why I would say it's Gannon, because if it's Nelson, Aguilar, Nelson, Steven Nelson, right? Well, then guess what? He gets pulled to the side and say stop it, but it continues throughout the game, 1 or 2 corners off 7-8 yards. So to me, that's just Gannon. Listen, Gannon is this type of person that even if he wants to come with pressure, and we blitzed more in this game against the Chargers than any other game this season, 30% after you look over the numbers. But this is the way he was blitzing. The Chargers understand that we are going to try to come at them with the front four. So they were playing 5 and 6 man protections. So when you blitz, you have to blitz more creative. You have to set them off different angles, maybe some stunts, and you're going to have to man up. The simple fact of the matter is when you are trying to send a blitz against 5 or 6 man protection, you're going to be very skimpy in coverage. And if you're going to be skimpy in coverage, you got to bring them up a little bit. It was too much pitch and catch. Why do you think 3 or 4 tight ends caught balls on us? Because they were catching everything in the flats in the middle of the field and just eating us up. It comes to the point where Jonathan Gannon is a guy who wants to play back. His philosophy is stop the explosive plays, right?
I know. So he'll go like, 8 yards, bro. 8 yards.
But what I'm saying is,
I am 30. I think I'm 38 actually. I'm 38 years old, bro. I can stick Guyton on an 8-yard cushion, bro. This is nuts. This is nuts. Man. Yo, it's crazy. 8 yards.
So just to reiterate what you was just saying, Gates. So you believe he actually did his homework. He actually looked at the game plan of the previous 2 weeks, but he just didn't have the cornerbacks in a position to fit the game plan to be the most effective. So you're saying he did some homework. When I look at it, I'm so disgusted. I couldn't see the homework. I don't know if I'm that mad.
That's why I don't know if it was Nelson. That's why
he didn't do his homework.
Because I'm like, yo, if you're Steven Nelson, somewhere in your head, you have to be going, I'm 8 yards off. Why the hell am I this far off? Like, why am I this far off of this dude? Like, it's 3rd and 7.
Because
we know we're disguising pressure. Like, I need to be up a little bit more. Like, I get being 5 yards off, but come on, man, you 8 yards off.
You know, it's becoming a disrespect to the logo, fellas. I mean, like, we're not a soft defense. Like, I mean, that's what it is. Like, we used to see defenses when, you know, we used to disguise coverage, bring in some corner blitzes. I mean, Jonathan Gannon's a cornerback guru, supposedly. And he got us, our cornerbacks out here playing extra soft. So, again, I'm looking directly at Gannon. I actually got the clue when I heard him in his press conference talking about one of the things he's still learning. He is still learning how to adjust to all the different position groups. So, right now, he doesn't have that. So, he's trying to learn it on the fly. Again, our linebackers, we know that's an issue in itself. I do blame some of it on the personnel, but at the same time, it is competency as a coach. You got to make adjustments. And this man ain't doing nothing.
And you got to do something at some point to stop the bleeding. You talk about Dak Prescott over 80%, Herbert over 80%, Derek Carr 90%, 90%. Tom Brady over 80%, Patrick Mahomes over 80%. Yeah. When do you just stop letting everybody do what they want to you? I was so I kind of compared this to Jim Schwartz and how I felt about Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz is trash. Make no mistake about it. But you're going to have to beat Jim Schwartz. He ain't going to let you beat him. Jim Schwartz is going to make Jalen Mills do his job to the best of his ability. If he get cooked, if Rasul Douglas get cooked, they got cooked. But they was in position to go out there and get cooked at least. We just laying down.
The crazy thing, LB, is that there were positives on the defense. There were still really good positives on the defense. TJ Edwards is a freaking ball player.
He's playing. He's playing.
Let me excuse my words here. He's a DAMN ball player because I ain't trying to get y'all demonetized here. He's a ball player, bro. That dude has showed up for 2 weeks.
He has.
He's a ball player. Yo, he was flowing to the football and sticking people. Yo, they tried to run a power lead on him, and he blew the fullback up.
He's part of the reason why. He's part of the reason why the run game, the run defense has been looking better. But look, I just got to say this when it comes to Jonathan Gannon.
Fletch got in on some stuff, bro. Fletch on that play, on that series, Fletch made a really good effort on the line where he stacked the lineman, shed his you-know-what, and stuck him right at the line of scrimmage, which kept them backed up. And it's like, yo, like there was so much good with this really soft coverage. Because part of the reason – I'm not letting the defensive line off the hook, but part of the reason we're not getting the pressures, part of the reason we're not getting the sacks is because quarterbacks are just seeing how far our coverage is playing off, and they're taking advantage of it.
And that's where the adjustments got to be, right? At the end of the day, this is the thing. And he said it in his press conference, right? When he looks at the tape, right? When we looked at Dallas's offense, they want to attack down. They got the weapons to attack down the field. Tampa, they got the weapons to attack down the field. Chargers got the weapons to attack down the field. And the Raiders are the number 1 attacking down the field. So what does Gannon do? He sees good quarterback. They want to attack down the field. He did his homework, but then in the first quarter, his homework should get stripped up because now they're coming in knowing that the Eagles are playing are trying to stop us from attacking the field. So they're doing everything. And it's not just the quick, short passes. It's keeping 5 or 6 men in. They got running backs chipping. They got tight ends chipping. We're not going to get there with 4. And you have extra guys to send because they're keeping guys back. There's only 11 and 11, right? It's 11 and 11. So if they have 6 guys blocking, you got to send more to just counter that. And if they're getting the ball out fast, adjust. He simply says, I got to do a better job in seeing it and calling tighter coverage. All right, that was cool when we got beat a couple times. But my thing is, say sorry to me once, I'll forgive you. Maybe twice. But when you keep apologizing for the same thing, I don't hear it no more.
Mike, you commented on my video and I brought up. I think it was the second drive. I think it was the second drive of the game. Tell everybody in the audience, how many third downs did the Chargers need to score?
0.
They scored the ball without needing to get in a third down, and they held the ball for more than 3 plays.
I mean, it's ridiculous, man. I'm gonna ask y'all one simple question about him before I say this last piece about Jonathan Gann. I almost want him. I want him fired every time I see a defensive lineman in the flex. Every time I see it, I want him gone. So I saw it last week, and I still want him gone. Is he one and done in your opinion?
No, I don't think they're going to fire him. I think he stands a better shot at being fired than the head coach. Don't get me wrong, but I think this front office likes him a lot.
Well, in the off season, you got to remember there were 4 teams lining up. Like, listen, we got Nick Sirianni, and it was like, cool, we got Nick Sirianni. Who is the guy? But Jonathan Gannon was the guy. Like, we're lucky to have Jonathan Gannon. Well, I rather wish we weren't so lucky per se. But here's my thing. I do think if we're setting records, if you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars defense and the New York Jets defense who's normally good, but they're beat up as crap. If we lead the league in completion percentage, if we continue to do this, well, then either the front office is blind to it, because one thing is this, building a foundation, right? We know our defense got to be added pieces, but what are we building on? What is the one thing we do good? Stop explosive plays. It doesn't matter in the NFL if you're getting beat like this. So he's done nothing good, and he's a guy that if I see 3 more games, like 3 we saw before, I don't know how he doesn't get fired this year.
Passing touchdowns, I think we ranked 20th. Basically, we're pretty much pushing the bottom third of the league.
If Teddy Bridgewater come out here and throw for 80+% completion, whatever, you know what I'm saying, he got to go. If Teddy
I completely agree. Hey, if this man, listen. Again, I'm fed up with. We in week 9. I'm tired of hearing this. You know, if he ain't got it by now, he's not gonna get it at this point. Because some of this stuff, again, I think is just clear sense of football. You make adjustments when you need to make adjustments, especially when these quarterbacks are putting up historic numbers. So again, yes, if it continues at this rate, absolutely, he's got to go after the Denver game. I mean, let's not act like Teddy ain't coming in here already with a 70% passing completion. So absolutely, that's definitely going to be the line, I think, for Howie to have to come down, or not Howie, because Howie, I don't know what he's doing, but Jeffrey to come down the box office to say, this is not the kind of brand of football that the Philadelphia Eagles represent. So, yes, I do believe this is going to be one and done, especially if this continues. I ain't seen that in 9 weeks. Again, I saw the Lions game. Hey, like you've been saying, Brian, hey, look, when we playing against these, I guess, quarterbacks that he ain't scared of, listen, he want to do a little something. I think he might be a little scared of Teddy Bridgewater. So I honestly got to see it for myself. Honestly, I think it's a one and done year for this man. I'm sorry. I ain't buying it, gang.
I feel the same way too, man. Let's switch gears to the offensive side of the ball real quick. Okay, now do you like do you like the changes that Nick Sirianni has made? Do you like what he's done overall in the last 2 weeks? I'm going to judge him. No, I'm going to judge him. Yeah, I can't judge him for the whole season because he's been more bad than good in terms of play calling and just, mixing up with the run and the pass. The last 2 weeks, the Lions game and the Chargers game, do you think that he finally gets it? He gets a little something, like he's learning. Do you get that sense from him?
Let me just go first. Mine's quick. I'm actually nervous about how much we're running the ball now, in the sense that I will never stop. I would never tell you guys. I would never tell you I don't want to see running plays, because I think the run sets up the pass, right? And I'm not saying Jalen Hurts don't got the arm, but when the defense is worried about his legs, worried about play action, worried about the run, it makes throws to Devontae Smith a lot more open. This is a game I saw progression, right? Jalen Hurts, they say he only throws to the right. Well, guess what? He threw to the left more than the right this time. He doesn't throw in the middle. Well, guess what? He threw in the middle. He doesn't stay in the pocket. Well, I count more than 3 to 4 to 5 times where he stared in the pocket. I like this. This was a game that showed me there's signs. Is it just overnight progression? No, but it's slowly but surely. Now we'll see what the organization goes. But for Nick Sirianni, he does everything in extremes. The dude made Jalen Hurts' workload super hard in the first couple games of the season, passing the ball like crazy, and now he's running the ball like crazy. There's times I feel like the run could set up a nice play action, and he's dropping Jalen back straight, or there's another run play. So I'm never going to say not run the ball, because I am a firm believer of the run, but I still want it to be more balanced, right? As I was screaming for the run game because it was only 20% a game, now I'm screaming, mix it up a little bit more, right? This is the best defense we're going against in a while. They're 8th against the pass and 6th against the run, right? So if you come out 80% running, you're probably going to lose, because they're going to know what you're doing. If you come out 80% passing, you have to be balanced. So keep running, but don't just be like, well, if I'm going to pass, I'm going to go all out passing. If I'm going to run, I'm going to go all out running. You have to be creative. You are the play caller. Mix it up, my guy. Make me guess, right? Because now I'm like, it's a run. When they were passing, I knew exactly when they were passing. When they were running, I knew exactly when they were running. And if I can do it, so can Vic Fangio, who's a good defensive mind. Mix it up.
I thought Mike, I thought he did a little better than that, honestly, because I was a little concerned with the Detroit games, because I felt like that was just, we're way better in the trenches. We're far better in the trenches on both sides of the ball than Detroit. But San Diego defensively can at least push back. And I will say that his use of 12-13 personnel, and my guy finally came out with 21-man personnel, putting 2 running backs on the field. He finally heard Gate, who's been called for 2 years now. But I thought he did some things in there. I mean, I thought he used some really smart applications of things. He caught them on a 21-man personnel, who gave them that same look. They thought they were going to do that cross zone stuff on them. And then basically what he did is he hit him with a little play action. And he hit Devontae Smith on a nice play action pass. And then he went back with 12 personnel, made him think that they were doing that cross zone run again. And what he did is he basically rolled it out and hit Dallas Goedert for a nice first down. That's the one where they ripped it, kind of got hung up on him, the undershirt. So, I mean, I thought Nick did a really good job, actually. I thought he did a pretty good job of mixing it up. And I think he's pretty creative with the 12 and 13 personnel stuff. I also think that our tight ends are actually pretty good. I think Jack Stahl is pretty good, and I'm pretty excited to see what they do with Tyree Jackson. I think Tyree Jackson's going to have a role than people think. I said by week 12 we're probably going to see it flash. I didn't expect him to be on the field this early, to be honest, Mike. So we'll see if starting next week if he doesn't start coming down with a catch or two. Like, I really feel like I feel like he's going to target the running backs and he's going to target the tight ends. Like, I almost feel like I'm wondering how much Sirianni allowed Steichen to have control over the install of the offense, because I'll be honest with you, some of the concepts we were running early in season, it felt a little like Steichen to me from what I saw from the Chargers, to be quite honest. I don't know that the factual though, Mike. I mean, who knows? I'm not in the room, you know what I mean? But I'm wondering if the last couple of weeks aren't a little bit more of Nick Sirianni's install, because the last couple of weeks have looked a little bit like Frank Reich to me, to be honest.
I'm gonna make my quick ones, because honestly, the jury's still out for Nick Sirianni. I'm not gonna sit here and get this man. Look, I understand that. I'm gonna give him that he's learning and developing, and I like the adjustments that he's making, especially to this run game. But the way we came out to start this season, I mean, we were epically bad with not just neglecting to run the ball, period. So, I'm not just gonna sit here and erase that whole half of the season. Yes, I'm gonna give him some credit right now for doing what he's supposed to be doing, which is recognizing we have a run game. We are led by our run game. We won a Super Bowl from our run game. Hey, any dominant team in the league knows that we need any team that's great runs the ball. So for him to finally wake up come week 8, Week 9, again, hey, look, the jury's still out, but it's good to see the development. This man's evolving. That's what a coach, hopefully, that's playing for his job needs to be doing. But at the same time, he is a coach. He's also responsible. I know, look, he don't coach the defense, but when you see some ridiculous garbage going on defense, and you don't go to the sideline and tell your defense, look, this ain't it. Both our jobs is on the line. Defense, you're probably going to be the first one to go. Look, right now, again, the jury's still out on them both. So right now with Nick Sirianni, I like his creative ideas. I do see a lot of positives there, especially when we got Jalen under center. It's starting to look a little more creative. But to say I'm just going to erase this whole first half because we saw that predictability with the constant RPOs, Jalen running to the right. Oh, yeah, I ain't forgot that. So I need to see Nick Sirianni continuously develop until I'm fully on board with this Sirianni train. So I got to see it, gang.
No. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I feel like, I'm more mad at him for not really correcting Gannon. You know what I mean? I'm more mad at him about that, for letting Gannon be that bad. But at the same time, he had no room to correct him up until 2 weeks ago because he was equally as bad, if you really want to think about it. And during the first half of the season, Gannon might have actually been better. You know what I mean? Than Nick Sirianni. So, I like the improvements in Nick Sirianni. I like that he's trying different things. Gannon seems to be a little more stubborn, but Sirianni is trying different things. He's trying to go with what works. He's taking guys off of the field and giving guys different snaps who deserve different snaps. I like stuff like that from my coach. Now, let's talk about Jalen Hurts for a second, though. Has Jalen Hurts improved? Has he improved at all? Is he around the same, or is he worse than what you thought he was going to be coming in the season? I'll do this one first real quick. Of course, I think he improved. I mean, it's not because I'm a fan of him. It's not because I'm a Hurts guy. But come on, man. I feel like he really has improved. In last game, I feel like being able to go blow for blow with Herbert. Herbert was scoring. Hurts was scoring. You know what I mean? It was basically back and forth. It was a little mini shootout in its own until Hurts never got the ball back. I felt like that he was rising to the occasion right in front of our eyes. I mean, for God's sakes, he was somersaulting. You know what I mean? He was jumping over people for first downs.
Yeah. Flipping the birds.
Right. He was being a playmaker. So absolutely, I think he improved. I think he gained more respect from his team. I think he gained more respect from the fans who was actually at that game, who actually watched that game. Because when you see something like that live, you become a fan. If it was a little kid in them stands, I like Jalen Hurts. He laid it all out there. So, I think he improved.
Yeah. He had a Cunningham moment.
Yeah.
He had a Cunningham moment for real. He did on that play where he picked up the first down. And that was such a, don't get me wrong, Jalen Hurts is abandoning the pocket sometimes when he doesn't need to and he's missing reads.
That's
true. No doubt about it. But he also, in the same breath, he also shows you what he can do that, I'm sorry, but other guys just don't have the ability to do that, which is, you go back to that play where Bosa crashes inside. They come with the blitz. Boston Scott gets blown up, and Hurts has to basically widen because he sees Bosa crash inside. It's a heck of a play, man. I mean, they're not – most quarterbacks can't make that play.
Most quarterbacks are sacked right there.
Bro, I'm a former quarterback. You put me out there and you ask me to do that, I'm just going to tell you we're gonna pack it up today, guys.
Yeah, Tom Brady's throwing that ball in the dirt. Tom Brady's killing that down.
Yeah, we're giving up on this play. We're going to live a play another down. He does that. There was another play too. I think it was in the second quarter where, man, he stepped up into the pocket, avoided the rush, got around the guy, got out to the outside. It's nuts, man. There are some times where he makes some really jaw-dropping plays from the pocket in terms of being able to maneuver and avoid pressure. Now, look, I'm not going to lie to you, Brunson. He's got to get better with his footwork. At times, he's got to get better with understanding, diagnosing coverage. But I will tell you this at the same breath, Brunson. That last drive when he had the ball, dude, I saw real chemistry between him and Devontae Smith. That was the real deal. That was the real deal on that drive. That made me think all of the Atlanta game, I don't even care about. And he was really good in the Atlanta game. That drive right there, and I know it's only one drive in one game. I'm not saying to overhype it, but that made me go, oh, okay, he is getting better. Yeah, he's been limited. We're not asking him to do too much. But, boy, that drive looked like a professional quarterback to me. That looked like a guy that looks like, hey, give this dude another year. I mean, that's the hard part, man, is I get what people are saying. Like, yeah, man, he's not diagnosing coverage, blah, blah, blah. He's not doing these things. He doesn't sync his footwork in time with basically the receiver routes. I get all that stuff. But I look at the draft class, man, and I haven't done my evaluation on all these guys yet, but I just don't know that you're getting better. I don't. You're basically going to be, if you move on, then you're going to be dealing with a lot of the similar issues with another guy. Yeah. I mean, maybe they got a more talented arm, but they're probably not going to be able to move the pocket and avoid the rush. They're probably not going to be able to give you the things that Jalen can give you in the running game. Like, you get this question wrong, man, and it's disastrous. You get this question wrong, and it's disastrous because you traded away a guy that probably you viewed as your franchise guy at one point. You traded him away. You spent a second-round pick on the other guy, and now you're back just a couple of years later, and you're in the draft looking again. Like, hey, man, let's just call a spade a spade. The Eagles have looked for a lot of quarterbacks in the last 10 years.
True.
Yeah.
At some point, we need to develop somebody, and that dude needs to stay in.
Go ahead, Notion. You can go.
Hey, facts, man. Look, hey, I think, honestly, y'all already know Jalen Hurts. I believe he's progressing. He's doing what he needs to be doing, at least trying to develop with whatever he's being presented with. Again, we saw the first half of the season. Any quarterback in this league that doesn't have a run game, and I know quarterbacks are going to be judged off their wins and their losses at the end of the day, period. We are 3-6. That's not a good record for any quarterback to tote. But for us to sit here and act like when he's put in a position, at least supported by a run game, he's at least doing things to manage the game, to at least put us in position to try to win the game. So I'm seeing those things from Jalen Hurts. He is showing small, steps of progression. Again, I still believe he's being, held back by this developing staff around him. When you got a coach that's learning on the offensive and defensive side, that's going to reflect through to your quarterback. So, again, look, Jalen Hurts, I believe he's taking all the steps that he can take within what we got going on right now. And, yes, I mean, I still believe in this man. I do believe that he's got such a rare athleticism. Like you said, if we would have had another quarterback out here, the sack rate that we would be out ridiculous up in here right now. So, I believe Jalen Hurts, he's doing what all quarterbacks are doing. Ain't no quarterback that's flawless or perfect. So he's continuing to learn his arm strength, his timing. That'll come with the development. But right now, I'm not even going to sit here and act like Jalen's the problem for any of this stuff we seeing, because I think he's doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, you can clearly see the progression. Again, just watch some of the early games and the amount of times he moves out the pockets. And you can look at the misreads, although they're still there for a young quarterback.
A couple times.
But it's going down. It's going down each game. They're not like cringeworthy plays of like, look at this. Also, we've been running the ball. There's just things that can't be taught, right? A lot of people talk about the wow factor, right? The wow factor cannot be taught. I'm not saying it's easy to correct your mechanics in a season or two. I'm not saying it's possible for someone to get out of something they do, like the panic button and things of that sort. But I saw in the Chargers game, they made a real effort to stay in the pocket. And I will warrant some of these breaking the pockets were warranted via the free blitzer and via the pass rush that Joey Bosa and the Chargers were bringing on us. But all the other tools are there, things that need to be worked on. I believe he can. He's not going to put it to the side. He corrects himself. He talks about it in post game that he wants to stay in the pocket more. It's not absent to his mind. It's just going to take time. The Eagles are set up with 3 first-round picks, so it feels like Jalen Hurts ain't getting the right chance. Maybe it is because it's Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? There was judgment on this kid right out of Oklahoma. You know what I mean? Before the dude even suited up in the NFL. Even when I'm not talking about when he was drafted under Carson, I mean when he came in throughout the whole offseason without really seeing what he could do after working with Quincy Carter and all these guys. The end result is this. I think the defense is so gone, and I know as LB said, with Gannon there, it might not matter who you throw back there, right? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, you still got to fix things because we got a lot of 1-year deals in there and a lot of older guys. The youth is on our offensive side, right? You got pieces on the O-line, wide receiver, quarterback, tight end, all young. No matter what we want to say, the cornerbacks, the safeties, the D-line is older, so you got to get youth behind them, whether we have a good D coordinator or not. But last episode of Go Talk, we talked about possibly getting one of these first round picks traded for a future one, right? So there, if Jalen Hurts gets a whole 2022 and he doesn't make the leap you really want him to do, like he's still, we're talking about week 16 in 2022. Come on, Hurts, in certain scenarios. Well, then you have some ammo to go ahead and get a quarterback. I think people who are on the edge, like people who are in the middle on Hurts, feel like if we don't do something now, we won't have nothing to, we'll be in that quarterback purgatory. We'll be winning 7, 8, 9 games, not able to really do nothing. So draft 2 defensive players, get a future first, get a third or fourth this year, and then you go ahead and say, Jalen Hurts, we believe in you. Let's rock. And if he fails with a fair chance, that's it. Because as Gates said, and as I always hear right now, the quarterbacks are suspect. Right? Corral and Pickett could be good, but you could waste a pick on them. You could lose Jalen Hurts, lose your first round picks.
Personally, Mike, I would go Carson Strong
who struggles
over both of those guys. Personally, me personally, I would go Carson Strong over both of those guys. If I'm going to, I don't even know who that is. If I'm going to take a risk on a quarterback that probably none of us are going to, you never really know if they're going to pan out. They give me the guy that has the attributes from the arm strength that can make throws, that can, you know what I mean? Like, I think Corral is very athletic. I think he definitely has some attributes to him, but like Pickett scares me, man. He's 24 years old. And look, my guy, I brought on my guy. My guy played that kid. He loved him. But I'm skeptical of Pickett, man. I'm skeptical of Pickett. And look, I'll admit, I'm an NC State guy, so I don't really like Pickett. But, like Max Brown is all behind Pickett. I know. It's Max's guy. I know I brought Max on my channel, everything. We talked it out. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm skeptical of Pickett, bro. I'm really skeptical of him, man.
I didn't even get to the point of even looking at any of these guys because – when I look at how questionable Jalen Hurts' mechanics are, and they are questionable, footwork and stuff like that, when you look at questionable mechanics, you usually run into a situation to where a quarterback is turning the ball over because his mechanics are so bad. He got questionable mechanics, but he only got 4 picks and 2 fumbles with throwing the ball the amount of times that he's thrown the ball. I mean, if you can properly coach this dude, man, I think you really, really, really got something. And then, I also look at the turnovers, and then I also look at the last couple of years of Philadelphia Eagles football. I didn't remember us damn near averaging 15 points a game with Carson Wentz in there for like 2 years in a row. We're averaging the most points per game since the Super Bowl season. You know what I mean? People not really looking at this. The chains are moving. The ball is moving. It might not look pretty. It might not be the guy y'all want it to be. But imagine us averaging 2 points a game last season or the season before last. It didn't happen. I don't even think we averaged 20 yards a game. 20 points per game. And then you got Howie Roseman running around here wanting to visit people. Whoever he draft going to be trash because he can't draft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whoever he draft, I'm going to be a fan of the opposite guy that he don't draft. Because he'll probably be good.
Yeah, if it comes down to 2, just do the opposite. Whatever you're thinking, bro, just do the opposite. But hey, and the people who want to bring up garbage time, right? Garbage time wasn't invented this year, right? So when people say most of our points are from garbage time, well, why couldn't we score in garbage time the last 2 years? Because at the end of the day, right now, through 10 weeks, we're scoring more this year than we were last year. And it was garbage time last year, and it was garbage time for the last 50 years. At the end of the day, some people don't even score with garbage time. It's as simple as that.
Hey, AJ, I don't think we have the wrong quarterback coach. I like Brian Johnson a lot. And Brian Johnson, there's been a report that he's been down on the field the last 2 weeks. So I see him. I see an actual difference.
What about the closeness?
Jalen Hurts with the quarterback coach down there.
What about the
Brian
closeness?
Johnson he's done an incredible job, man. Brian Johnson has worked with Dak Prescott. He's worked with Eric King in Miami before he transferred out there. I mean, he worked with the dude from Florida last year, the big tall white kid. I can't think of his name right now, but kid that got picked up past. Yeah, Kyle Trask. Yeah, Kyle Trask, I mean, he's definitely worked with quarterbacks, and he's pretty good. I mean, I don't think the issue is the quarterback coach. You got to remember, guys, there's only so much quarterback coach can do in season. You're not really going to work on a guy's fundamentals in the season. That's stuff you do off season.
That's true.
That's the private quarterback.
So we talk about the offense. We talk about the defense. We just can't skim over the fact that we definitely have to go into the mountains of Denver. Our wind got to be right. The air real thin out there. You know what I mean? How do we come out there? How do we come out of this with a win? Our best chance of winning is on the road. Them the only games we've won. What do we have to do to come out of this with a win against the Denver Broncos? I'll go last on this one.
I'll kick it off. Y'all already know. Listen, I think in order for us to go and get this win, we got to come out there straight up, no joke. Hey, listen, I don't want to see the same defensive philosophy that we had last week. Plain and simple. This Denver team, they got a style of receivers, Cortland Sutton. Hey, I mean, he's a big type of physical receiver, similar to Keenan Allen. I want these position groups pressed. So it's going to start with the defensive group, but at the same time, I do believe our offense is going to have to gun carry us. I know what you say, Mike. What is Denver, eighth in pass defense, sixth in run stop? Look, we don't need to be scared of that. We need to make sure we're going out there establishing a run, just like we have been the past couple of weeks, and keep it from there. Let Jalen go out there and make plays. He's one of the most, effective players in the red zone. So definitely, as long as we get there, I believe we're going to get the ball in the end zone. Again, defensively, that's where I'm concerned at. Because if we come out there with this soft, passive-aggressive defense where, there's no adjustments made, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a long night in Denver, regardless of the air. So I'm to the point where, again, we got to put this whole thing together. In the defense, I believe that's where we're going to have to see some changes there in order to get this done.
You want me to go, Mike?
Sure.
All right. To get the W against – look, I don't think Denver's as good as they looked in against Dallas, man. I think it was a flash in the pan, man. Like I think they just caught Dallas off guard. I will say this: it's hard to play in Denver. I think that's the real challenge, right? Like just trying to play in Denver it's a hard environment, man. Like you ain't used to playing up in that altitude. That's an issue. Like right. that's a legit issue. Although I'm pretty sure Denver beat Dallas in Dallas. So I don't know what Dallas was doing. I think they got caught looking ahead. But,
they're showing us. It's about that time for that.
What can go wrong will go wrong for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, every year around Thanksgiving, they do seem to kind of
need that.
I will say that, like Denver is a really good defensive team. I think they have real talent at the wide receiver position. And I think they lost KJ Hamler for the season, didn't they?
Did they?
I knew he was hurt. I didn't know he was out for the whole season.
Yeah, and they're still pretty good, man. They still have a really good receiving core. I'm gonna tell you issue number one. Jonathan Gann, I don't know if you're listening. My guy, for the love of God, put your corners up on the line, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, we're already, look, I know that you didn't play a lot of too high the last game. As a matter of fact, we ran the highest percentage of single high safety in the entire league last week. But man, we do play a lot of too high. So we can't be really backed off with our corners if we're playing too high. Like that's basically that defeats the whole purpose of playing too high. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you got to play down, man. We need to disrupt the receivers' routes. These are pretty good receivers. Get your hands on them. Look, I don't know if he watched my Steven Nelson video, Mike, in LB. And I know that, like, I was not very nice to Steven Nelson. Like, I pointed out, Steven Nelson gets beat on double moves. And what I saw in that Buffalo game last season, that could send the crap out of him. But Steven Nelson, I said it even in that video, like, immediately, the second he stepped foot on the field, he was our second best corner. There was no doubt about it. Like, the dude's still a respectable corner. Let the man play. Don't be playing him 8 yards off. Let that man play football. Like, I'd rather get beat by a double move. I'd rather get beat by a double move.
Get picked apart.
Yeah, I'd rather get beat by a double move.
Listen, getting beat by a double move is just like fast forwarding your TV, right? He's going to take 13 plays or 2 plays. I mean, let him play. Let him play.
Like, I'd rather give him a chance to make the right play, to make the right decision in a moment. Bro, Derek Barnett, man. Like, I know you got 3 pressures last week. I get it. But, like, dude, where are you? Where are you? You're in a contract year.
He's out of here.
You're supposed to be auditioning for the rest of the NFL. Hey, man, can we get a sack? Like, can we get something? Like, dude,
I think you got to take him off the field in any passing situation. Any third and long passing situation, he should just not even be on the field at this point.
I mean, the dude's penalties, even if he had 6-7 sacks on the season, the amount of penalties he's had for,
it's always him.
Yeah, it's always him. Exactly. It's always him. Like, clearly he's not coming back after the season.
Nah.
And that makes me wonder, like, to be honest, guys, if he's not coming back after the season, which seems very possible.
He's not.
Why play him? Why play him this much? Why not
'Cause
give him a rotational role?
That's
Because
Why
that's
not play
Kerrigan-
Deshaun Jackson more? Why
Well,
not play Milton Williams
to the
more?
logo.
Like, I don't get it.
Kerrigan is a
I don't get
bum.
it.
So like,
Yeah,
so
that's
I-
why. Listen, the reason we're playing Barnett is because we lost BG and we lost Kerrigan. I mean, he's there in physically.
Yeah.
He's not there. So
Like-
we down two defensive
Like,
ends.
yo, I got a safety out there that's like, I mean, for real, man. He's got like duct tape on his knees. And Rodney McLeod. And my guy's out there playing with his heart.
Yeah,
That dude, the stick he
Yep,
made
no
on
problem.
third down against Keenan Allen.
big
Shout out to my
time.
Greensboro guy, Keenan Allen. Yo, he stuck him, and for real, he shut that play down. Like, if that dude can be out there with like duct tape on his knees, 30-some years old and still producing, like, come on, man. You're in
Yeah,
the prime of your career.
you could tell
You're a first-round
Kerrigan.
pick.
You
You
could
broke
tell
Reggie White's
Kerrigan's
record.
Washington. Listen,
Like,
that
come
Washington
on.
blood run deep in him because he not yo. The dude was still decent last year. This dude is just despicable. So listen, still got Washington in his blood. He don't
I
like
think he got
Philly. He
one
just
tackle
came over
on the
here.
season.
He came over
Yeah.
here. Yeah, he got one tackle on the season, bro. That's crazy.
That's why I
Hey.
can't straight up stand none of them division trades. Like we get that all the time. You would think we would have learned our lesson in Philly from
We're
getting
done.
these, division wash-ups. So
I'll
We're
make
done.
a prediction, Mike. I don't think we're going to run the ball over 30 times this game. I really don't. I just, I don't think that's the look. I think people overreact to the report about Jeffrey Lurie. Like, I honestly don't think he's in his office smashing coffee cups every time we run the ball. I don't think that, I don't think he's doing all that. Like, you know what I mean? I think he prefers to throw the ball early in games. That's an analytical decision the organization has made that goes all the way back to Andy Reid. Like, they made an analytical decision. I heard Joe Banner was just talking about it. That, like, look, they wouldn't have hired this guy if he didn't believe in throwing the ball early and running the ball late. Like, that's an organizational belief, not a coaching belief.
All right. Well,
But I really think that you're going to see, like, Hurts has been, we've kind of been walking him along. I need that game. You know what I'm saying? I need that game to where when someone comes at me and they're like, hey, he's not the dude, I can be like, yo, but you look like
this is the game. I'm
Yeah.
calling it
Like,
right now.
I need that
Jalen
game
Hurts
this
balling.
week. I need that game this week. I need Hurts to show, like, you know what? You saw these, look, I missed reads. Definitely I've missed reads here and there. But I've showed you I'll put my body on the line for the team. I've got the respect of the locker room. Now I just need that one definitive game where everybody goes, oh, that's Jalen Hurts. Like, that's what we need. We need that game. We need that game this week because this is a good defense. This is a pretty good defense we're playing.
So I want Nick Sirianni to continue to run the ball, and I think the run is going to be big in this dub. If we get a dub at Mile High, right, we are going to continue to run the ball, but we will pass a little bit more. Again, I specifically remember the Denver Broncos and Baltimore Raven game, right? The Ravens have set a record of almost 3 years straight without having less than 100 yards rushing, right? That's not just the running backs, that's Lamar and the running backs. Listen, 3 years. Do the math. That's a lot of games without falling short of 100. That was a game that Denver got mad because they were winning and they let Lamar Jackson run for 6 yards so they can get from 94 or 97 to like 103 to continue that long streak that will never be broken. I'm saying that to say this. Fangio's watching the tape, seeing we had our most success running the ball 1,000 times. He's going to sell out to stop the run. That don't mean I want to stop. Go ahead and get the battering hammer ready, Jordan Howard, and let him do what he need to do. I think he deserves more touches. Still use the committee, but Jordan Howard got to get 15 plus. That being said, Lamar Jackson threw for 300 plus on that defense when they stopped the run. And ain't no run deadlier than Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, no matter who's back there. So we will run the ball, but Jalen Hurts is going to have close to 300 yards. And he's had some games where he only threw for 150, 190. So this is going to be one of them high throw. He's not going to throw 40 times. He's going to be around, I want to say 27 to 28 attempts, which is more than the 14 and 17. We're going to run the ball 20 times, 22. Jalen Hurts going to throw the ball 27, 28 times, and we're going to come away with a dub. The last part of it is Gannon. Don't look at Teddy Bridgewater as that C+ better. He's right on the line, right? Bridgewater's right there. Look at him like the Goffs, the Jimmy G's, the Matt Ryans, and the Sam Darnolds. If you do that, you get the decent side again. And if he looks like the upper echelons, well, guess what? You're going to need 2 TVs to see the safeties because it's going to need to extend. You're going to need the extended TV to see the whole secondary.
Yeah, I think that Jalen Hurts is going to make a lot of plays this week. I think he's going to make a lot of plays with his arm and with his legs. I think he's just going to continue to be a playmaker. Will the defense be able to help him out? You know what I mean? Will the offense be able to, sustain, reasonable play calling? Because Sirianni was shaky in the beginning of the Chargers game. Then he had to revert back to the run. Are we going to just be competent? Are we going to understand that sometimes you just need to take the points instead of going for every 4th and 1? You know what I mean? We just got to be smart about this game because this is a game I really want. This is a game I feel like the fans should really want. And, we've seen a lot of chemistry with, Jalen Hurts so far, and especially with Devontae Smith. Can they continue to build on that? Because that was a monster game between the two of them. I feel good about this game, but the coaches are the biggest problem for me because they ultimately have the keys to a lot of decisions that are made with the personnel that's on the field. With that being said, I think the Eagles are going to win this game. And yeah, man, yeah, we coming up on almost 7 o'clock. I'm about to do Sixers, right?
What happened?
You doing the Sixers?
Yes, sir. I gotta see some type of we bad right now. And we got like 5 guys out. We got like $1 billion sitting on the bench with COVID and mental stuff. It's wild.
Right. Facts. Yeah, man. So I want to let everybody know that's watching. We got 353 people in here. Thursday Night Football about to come on. Everybody's link to the description to their page, Philly Notion, Gate City Sports. Mike, we do this every week, but this link gonna be there too. Make sure you sub these guys up. I'm telling you, I'm only here to bring the best. That's all I want to do is bring the best. And sub these guys up. You will not be disappointed with the content at all. With that being said, I want you guys to enjoy your night, enjoy your Veterans Day, eat good, drink good, and have a
happy
good
vets
one.
Happy Veteran Days to the guys on the screen.
Day. Salute, yes,
Appreciate
sir.
that.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. And we out.